lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Knowledge Podcast. My name is Ryan, and with me, as always, my boy Dylan. We're here to talk comics. Our picks for this week. Not necessarily did we talk all of our favorites, because there was a couple other books that came out that I read that I really enjoyed. So one of them being the Suicide Squad Get Joker book that Dylan didn't get a chance to read yet. That was
I didn't realize it was Ash Malik. I hate
Neither did I. Neither did I, because like I said, I've been doing that whole solicit thing. I kind of ignore, and it also is a part of the fact that DC stopped being in the Diamond Previews catalog. So like I usually flip through that to see what's coming out, like real quick, just titles, right? Like not necessarily the solicits. So now that they're doing the catalogs, now I'm more aware. But yeah, Alex Malik's art was great. The story was pretty good. I know a lot of people have been talking about it, but I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to ruin it for you. But the books we did read, Skybound X #5, the conclusion to this series, Spirits of Vengeance, Spirit Rider, The Me You Love in the Dark, and Deadpool, Black, White, and Blood. And just, we'll cap off our Skybound talk. Let's finish that up, and then we'll jump into the newer titles.
Okay. For the Rick Grimes story, I felt like the ending was a little rushed. It was cool, but I felt like it was a little rushed.
Yeah.
Like I expected something a little more grand.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's just, no, you're right. You're completely right about that. I agree. Yeah.
I was thinking, you're like, you know what? Fuck it, everybody dies. Like aliens, zombies, the whole team, everybody dead. But
yeah, it was just like, it just felt like you got to a point, right, where like they're in that battle that we left off with, and then it's like, and you're just like, it's just done. I'm like, what are we doing here, dude? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like I said, I was hoping we were going to see like to be continued, or we will see again, or some like even not necessarily we will see again, but maybe like leave it open ended to where you could jump back in and do more. But whatever.
Yeah.
Kirkman and Otley, they did. It was fun. It was a fun story. If you read it overall,
fun story.
I enjoyed it. And then we have the 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton's story by Kyle Starks and Chris Schweizer. The Code, that new book, new series with Robert Kirkman, Jason Howard, and then we have Gasolina, Sean Makowicz, and Nico Walter. So, talk 6 of Trigger Keaton. We actually read issue 1 on the podcast not that long ago.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun book. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
This is
this continues for it to be funny.
I like this better than issue 1. This particular story. I don't know really. I think it's the fact that there's a monkey in there, and
the fact that he gets into a fight with a gang of monkeys. It's not just like, but it's like a real fight. It's not even like a silly fight, like Deadpool-esque fight. But we're talking about like kicks, punches, fucking roundhouses, and like legit fucking fighting.
You got bitch slapped by a monkey. You know what I mean? You got bitch slapped by a monkey.
And he takes your beer, bro.
Yeah. It's a great. I mean, I'm waiting for the trade.
Story.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the trade to read because I know it's a miniseries and I'd rather just read it at once. Yeah, I definitely think that this is a good intro if you haven't checked it out because there's only 2 issues out. So if you are someone to read it monthly, go pick that up. Definitely worth a read. This story was fucking funny. I don't want to spoil the story because we already. A monkey and a guy get in a fight. I mean, like that alone should make you want to fucking read.
That's the elevator pitch. A monkey and a famous actor get into a fight on set.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and then, what did you think about Code?
I am very intrigued.
I don't know what to expect from it.
It's like human-sized Evangelion. It's like human-sized Evangelion, but like apparently there's like cyber some sort of like something happens to the world where it's like computers or like AIs take over and something happens, and then there's these orbs that power humans, and they're all separated into tribes, and each of them focus on different things. So it's kind of like Power Rangers meets Evangelion meets Lord of the Rings.
Okay, yeah, because that's pretty good. Yeah, I've never seen Evangelion. I've obviously I'm aware of it, but like I've never.
That shit will ruin you.
There's a lot of anime that has been recommended to me for fucking years, and for whatever reason, I just haven't watched it. I've watched a little bit of anime, but it just, I guess growing up, it just was never my thing. I was more into watching movies and then reading a shit ton, right? So for whatever reason, I just didn't do it. Like Cowboy Bebop still is probably like of what I have seen, it's the top, right? Like, and I'm sure there's a lot of
Cowboy Bebop is definitely fucking next level shit. Samurai Champloo is dope for like the hip hop heads. I don't know. I can suggest like a whole fucking laundry list of shit for you to watch. But
send it to me.
Like honestly, as far as the anime stuff goes, I didn't grow up watching like television series. I mean, aside from Dragon Ball, like I didn't grow up watching anime series. I grew up watching like the not appropriate for anybody under 17 like Japanese actual like anime movies. So like I'm talking about like Devilman, I'm talking about like Tank Police, fucking I watched Akira way too early. Like
yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like Appleseed, like that stuff. I grew up just like the one shot, one and done movies, and then it wasn't until later that I got into like the series and stuff. But Evangelion was a very like crazy existential question. Life, what is it? It's pretty good. Like that's one of those things. That's one of those things that like I feel like Evangelion can be appreciated by a comic book fan because the way it's written and the way it's structured, like the characters are very deep and character development goes from one side of the spectrum to the other, and it's pretty good. Like I really think that once you do get a chance to do it, Evangelion would be a thing, and I feel like this would I think Code. Code, which is acronym for Combat Orb Defense Engines, so that explains their little orbs. It kind of has that feel. Like I don't know exactly what prompted him to get to this point, and it's Robert Kirkman. Like Robert Kirkman. I'm very like I have faith in whatever he does.
Yeah, that's kind of what I felt when I was reading it. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is really happening, other than the art is great, and no matter what happened in this story, when there's a number one, I will be picking it up.
It looks cool. Like that whole like the entire like story was essentially just a fight scene. So I'm down for that. Like Robert Kirkman is definitely picking his action scenes well. I mean, case in point, Firepower. Firepower has been fantastic all the way through. There's yet to be an issue where I was like,
Kirkman has a good track record, right? I mean, like basically, like I said, if he's got a book coming out, I will always pick up the number one. Now, whether or not I'm going to get it on a monthly basis or I'm going to trade weight it, I'm still going to buy it. It's just a matter of like financial situation at the time or do I think this will read better in trade?
Yes.
Like Walking Dead, I read in trade. You know what I mean? Like Invincible, no, I bought that shit monthly. And Firepower, I don't have the patience to wait for the trade because I love every issue and there's always dope fight scenes. Every issue has a good fight scene, and Chris Samnee's art is just fantastic. So I think that I'm definitely excited to check out Code when it comes out. Yeah, I thought it was the art was great too. Jason Howard was awesome. So I'm excited for that. And then the last story, Gasolina, kind of had a Mr. and Mrs. Smith vibe to it, but fighting some like
until Ursula. It wasn't.
Yeah, until fighting some like Ursula bitch under fucking ocean with fucking just the ugliest fucking tits I've ever seen in fucking comic book.
Just so fucking gross. Moss and it's just fucking seaweed and titties, bro. Like what the hell?
Yeah, so I've never read this series prior to this.
Damn, I want to now though.
Yeah, Sean Makowitz is the editor-in-chief at Skybound, and this is his story. I thought the art was great. Definitely want to check out the book though, like the actual book. I really don't. I mean, like I said, I think I pretty much just described what it was. I don't think I could really like say much more about it, other than it made me intrigued to check out the actual graphic novels of it and see what comes from it.
And that's what Skybound has been. The fuck is that, Olive? And that's what like been really good about Skybound. There's been titles here that I never like had the desire to check out that I absolutely want to check out now. Like I feel like that Skybound was very successful in this. For anybody who like stuck through it all the way through, like I'm sure that there are people out there that is like, man, I didn't read this, but I want to now. Like that's me. That's like, I never read Gasolina. I don't know what the fuck it's about. Like, if I was to walk by and see Gasolina, I would totally ignore the fact that there was a Skybound label on it and see Gasolina and probably look at the cover and be like, meh. But now that I have a little tidbit about what's going on, tidbit about what's going on,
tidbit, yeah.
tidbit. I want to read it now. So,
so childish.
It totally is. I think, but I'm totally intrigued now, and they fucking knocked it out of the park, because otherwise this would have been one of those comics that either would have fell under my radar and never would have read forever until someone suggested it to me. But this
exactly, and that's the problem too. There's so much product out there, and I see it every fucking week. Being in a shop, when you just look at the shelves and you're like, God damn! Like, I'm at the point where like I don't have enough shelf space without having to cover up another book that isn't even that old, because I just don't have the space. So I have to put a newer title that just came out, new #1, on top of a title that may still be going, but it's kind of a smaller title. I'm talking more of the indie publishers, not Marvel, DC. But, like AWA, like we have to fan it out, having a pile, because there's so much product, right? So like sometimes when you're walking down, you gloss over stuff. And I think that Skybound doing this, like you said, has intrigued you to want to check out the other stuff, and kind of spotlighted stuff that may have gone unnoticed before, and also showing us stuff that we do love and have read, and stuff that's going to be coming out. I think that this was in my eyes, this was a really awesome product, and I wouldn't be mad if more publishers didn't do stuff like this to kind of showcase characters you love, and then show us some stuff to kind of gauge interest in maybe other titles that are going to be coming out. I think it's really cool. I loved it, and can't wait to see what Skybound does next.
I would love to see Marvel do it, like a Marvel showcase presents Marvel presents showcase, and then it'd be like 3 stories, just little tidbits into the world of what's going on in there, and like the multiple series, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm not saying I'm like down for everything, but I'm sure other people would be. And I'm sure that would stimulate the readership. I'm sure that would stimulate interest. And, because the simple fact that like Black Widow isn't getting the attention that I expected it to is fucking ridiculous. Like, Black Widow is so fucking good.
I know.
So good.
No.
Like, amazing. Right? Like,
it's phenomenal.
It's just one of those things where I was just taken aback by it. Like, I read the first trade and I was just like, yo, I have to finish this. Now I'm completely caught up. And it's Jeff's kiss.
Yeah, it is really fucking good. It's really good. Skybound, dope. Go pick them up. It's done. All 5 issues are out. I'm sure every shop you're going to go into will still have them in stock. They put out a bunch of variant covers, incentives. So I know we have all 5 in stock still, so it should be hard to get. Maybe they'll do a trade, I guess. I don't even know. They haven't talked about collecting it, but it's definitely worth checking out. And another book that I think was worth checking out this week was Spirits of Vengeance, Spirit Rider #1 by Taboo from the Black Eyed Peas, coming back with his boy B. Earl to tell this story of Kushala, of the 1800s sorceress, supreme, and ghost rider in one.
Yeah,
which I think is really cool. We have
that's crazy.
Yeah, Paul Davidson is the artist, Dan Brown is the colorist, Jeffrey Verger is Leviathan. He's the artist in Leviathan Origin of the story in here. I think it's like a couple of pages or something.
Yeah, it's not that. It's like a couple pages. This was actually a thick boy. It was a couple pages longer than I expected it to be. It was like.
Yeah, same. I know. I thought it was. Well, I didn't at first. I wasn't sure if it was a one shot or if it was going to lead into something more. But Taboo and B. Earl, they wrote that Werewolf by Night book that came out last year. I had a chance to talk to them, and it was crazy because I never would have pegged. I guess that's me judging. I guess contempt prior to investigation, but I would not have thought Taboo was as big of a fucking Marvel head or comic book fan as he was. Like, he was super into talking about comics with me. You know what I mean? And like, and yeah, it was dope. And so like they're coming back doing this. I'm sure they got some other stuff in the works. I forgot what editor. The editor on this book is it? I think it might be, maybe it is CB Cebulski was responsible, editor-in-chief, or one of the editors, right? They have a good rapport with, is letting them kind of do stuff they want to tell. And I, for one, huge Ghost Rider fan, huge Doctor Strange fan of the past few years. He's become like kind of like one of my characters that I'll always want to check out a book when he's in it. So to see them bringing Kushala back, who I don't know much about. I didn't read that book that they show at the end where they're like, oh, for more information on her, check out Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer's Supreme. So I've never read those. That's something that kind of went unnoticed by me. But like right off the top, the second page where here's Johnny and he's just fucking like the art is really dope in this book. I absolutely love
art. It's it's a lot of fun. The art in here itself is worth just checking it out.
Yeah.
But like you're right. A lot of this stuff fell into that. I didn't know who Kushala was when you were like Native American Ghost Rider. I'm like, what? There's another one.
I thought at first maybe Aaron introduced her because I know he kind of made Ghost Rider like a legacy type character. I haven't read all that stuff. I know you read the first book.
I read the first 2 books. I finished the first 2 books, and he made him a legacy character. Because Zarathos is the demon. Yeah. So okay. So basically, we've all been lied to, and the Spirit of Vengeance was never a demon to begin with. It was actually Agent of Heaven, and it's. And they introduced that whole thing that there's multiple spirits of vengeance, and this doesn't really touch on that aside from the fact that there's multiple spirits of vengeance. But what this one kind of touches on is that Johnny's spirit of vengeance is essentially the same spirit of vengeance that possessed Kushala, her being from the 1800s. So it's like time travel shenanigans with the spirits of vengeance, but it's not. But it doesn't like doesn't X-Men time travel shenanigans. It's more clear cut, dry kind of time travel thing, right? Yeah. What I really like about this is the whole spirit journey thing, right? Like it really dives deep into Johnny and his psyche and how his psyche is kind of affected by the spirit of vengeance and vice versa, right? Mm-hmm. Which I really like.
I like that they go to Sedona because like Lauren has been constantly trying to get me to go there because of like the Native American culture and how like it's a very spiritual place, and I like that she takes him there to kind of get him through what he's like these memories that are kind of like coming at him, right? Like from his past.
Well, apparently that's where she's from. That's the mountainside in which her tribe was murdered. And that she initially got possessed by her spirit of vengeance, right? But what really, like I said, like the spirit journey and all this is pretty dope. It's wordy. It's really wordy. I'm not saying wordy is a bad thing, but to explain a spirit journey, it kind of has to be, right? Like you kind of have to explain kind of what's going on, like especially with all like the weirdness of hallucinations and what's real and what isn't. And realization. So like this is really good. There's a couple soft, quiet moments where I was like, man, this is really good. Taboo is doing a really good job. Like to be honest, I think Taboo did a really good job on as far as co-writing this.
Yeah, him and B. Earl I think are a good team. I think the Werewolf by Night book was a fun book. Character was a new character, right, that they debuted. But I really like when I heard this was announced. I'm like, dude, anything Ghost Rider related. Like I'm gonna read, and I think that they did a great job of introducing us to her if you're not familiar with her prior to this. And like I said, like you couple that with the art, and this was one of the most visually appealing books that I read this week. You know what I mean? Like like comic books are the marriage of words and visuals, and sometimes you can have one really good, one you know what I mean? But like when you see something like that just jumps off the page with this kind of energy, you can tell that they kind of just let the artist go to town. That's what it feels like. You can tell when writers let the artist visually tell the story that they want to tell to couple with the script, and I think that's what we get here. I really want to see more by Davidson, dude. Like Paul Davidson just fucking killed it, knocked it out of the park. Jeffrey Verge.
I wouldn't mind seeing freaking like more Kushala, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean I am like thoroughly invested in this character. Like, this is a great one shot, great introductory to excuse me, to a character. This is fantastic stuff. This is good stuff. Like,
I know, and people cry out for more diversity in comics, and Marvel actually has dope diverse characters. Whereas the distinguished competition, they have diverse characters, but they're not necessarily that appealing to read about. Like, you have Kushala now, right? You have Echo. Echo has been so underutilized. I get that now she has the Phoenix Force. She has the Phoenix Force, and they're making a miniseries about her, right? And I forgot the exact name. It's Echo and the Phoenix something or other. And then she's going to be in the Hawkeye show, right? I really want to read that Daredevil arc with you. It was right after Kevin Smith's story arc finished. The second arc introduced
who's the
Echo.
writer on that?
David Mack.
Oh, wow.
David Mack. He did some of the art. Yeah, well, of course. He does Kabuki as his creator-owned book.
Well, yeah, I know. I know about Kabuki, but
yeah, he doesn't normally write a lot of stuff. But there's a couple times during the Daredevil run. Obviously, that second arc, right, with Joe Quesada. But then also he comes back later on and writes and does the art for an Echo. I think maybe it was a single issue storyline. It's hard for me. It's right around issue 53 of that run, the Marvel on Ice run. But yeah, I want to see them use their diverse characters that are really interesting, that don't feel like, I'm trying to think of the word, but like when you just like create the character and they just feel like, not a stereotype, that's not the word that I'm looking for, but just like
it's like,
you know what I'm trying to say?
It's like a fan. It's not a fan service, but like, I know what you're trying to say. It's like they do it just because they needed diversity.
Yeah, and it's not even like they really like are representing the culture of that particular. They're not representing the culture, ethnicity, right, of that particular ethnicity. And I feel like with this, like going to Sedona, that's real stuff. That's not them just saying, oh, they went to the mountains, right? Like, no, they gave an actual place, they gave an actual tribe, and they did that with Werewolf by Night. And Taboo is all about Native American culture, and you could see his excitement of really bringing that into Marvel. And I think that came across with their work. And I think that this is a great like little snapshot into this character, and it definitely made me want to go read those trades kind of to get a little bit more.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're right. There are a lot of characters that I feel like are underutilized, and a lot of characters that don't get the shine that I feel like they should. Like, case in point, like the Agents of Atlas, like.
I know you've said that.
Like there's so much there that they could utilize, but we don't get much of it. We don't get much from that, especially it being like multiple Asian cultures that you could just dive into, right?
Yeah.
But I digress. This is a great book. Go check it out. Spirit Rider. Like I said, I want more Kushala. I hope we get like an 1800 a comic set in 1800s, but with her knowledge of the future, like, you know what I mean? I would love to see that. I would love to see it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think that you got the ground, you have the foundation laid with just this one issue.
Yeah.
And dude, I don't see why you don't continue this. I think she's an interesting character. There's so much you could do with her.
Yeah. But speaking of laying foundation, let's talk about Scotty Young, George Corona, John Francois Beaulieu, John Francois, Nate Pickles, the Me You Love in the Dark. I'm sorry if I butcher your names. I'm so sorry.
I know. Jen would fucking kill you. I
know she would.
I love when I've talked to her and there's like a French name and I'm just like, can you say it? I don't want to fuck this up. But yeah, I think you did an okay job, serviceable job. The Me You Love in the Dark. Let's talk this book. The creative team reuniting from Middle West. A fantastic book. I still haven't finished the last arc. I have the hardcover sitting there waiting for me at work. And I was just waiting. I was waiting.
So good.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a whole read through for that book. I'm very excited to fucking finally be able to sit and read it from beginning to end. But in the meantime, we got a new title from them. Only a 5-issue miniseries, so it's not a new ongoing by them.
But it's just like, what has Scotty been doing the past couple months?
Writing this. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he's got some other stuff.
And variant covers galore.
Variant covers, Strange Academy. I'm sure he's got to be writing something else, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure the writing aspect of this book is probably either done or almost done, right? Like, prior to this coming out, because I think Image makes you have 3 books in the can finished before you can solicit. I liked it. I think you kind of said it earlier. You're like, it felt a little short. Now, I don't think it was short. I just think not enough information was given to us in the first issue. Because I don't want a 48-page issue either, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely more visual book. It sets the tone for this haunted house story visually. Mm-hmm. But as far as explanations go, you kind of get tidbits here and there. And then by the end, you kind of know what's going on. I mean, aside from exactly what's going on, you kind of know more about Ro, which is the main character. And yeah, you know, let's just start it off. Like, she buys a haunted house.
I love it. And this is not her first, right? This is not the first time that she is buying a house because first of all, she's an artist and she wants to be inspired. So she travels, right? And she's like looking for anything that can inspire her to paint. And she's moving into a haunted house and she's trying to talk to a non-existent ghost that is not.
She's literally talking to her at all.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, but like, you know, she's experiencing a creative block, which many creatives go through, and it's a common thing. And she's trying to find inspiration wherever she can, like whether it be the bottle, whether it be music, or whether it be a haunted house. but like, you know, like her creative block is like really bad. Like, it's really bad. Like, nothing's helping. She's just going days on end, and apparently she's already an established artist, and she has an exhibition coming up, and she has nothing for it.
Right. Yeah, I love how he calls her, and he's like, "Come on, I got bills I gotta pay too, so you better hurry up and give me something before," you know. So
I'm not trying to be a barista again. Like,
I love that.
We got to pay rent.
Yeah. So I think that, you know, you did say that it's more visual than like necessarily the writing. And I think that Scotty Young being an artist, maybe that was the point. He wanted to let the art kind of tell the story more so in this. And even though I think that the art was great, and I think that the story, there's something there, I do wish there was more. And I think that it's not, I'd say it's an 8 to me, right?
Yeah,
I feel like it had the potential to be a 10 for me if I just got a little bit more. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it did need extra pages. Maybe like you couldn't really I don't think you could have added more words to what we saw. I don't know necessarily that I would have wanted different scenes, but I mean, I think that it helps you get into her headspace and her being alone, right? Like, it really helps you see, you know, there's nobody there, dude. She's in this fucking weird old house trying to inspire herself, and just like the mundaneness of walking around empty, like drinking, like you said. She even comes up with a drawing and then she throws it. I've seen that happen before. I may not be an artist, but I live with one, and I've witnessed the canvas be thrown. So it's nothing new to me, you know. So like watching that.
I have a dent in the corner of my office from me throwing a pencil.
You dented it with a pencil? How hard did you throw that fucking pencil?
I think this pencil just hit the right angle.
Okay.
And it dented like a part of the wall. I'm staring at it right now because it was like because this is my desk right here, and I'm drawing. And I was like, fuck, like. And it just dented, and I was like, "Oh!" And then Jackie saw it when we were putting the curtains up yesterday. She saw what happened there. Oh, when I was taking the blinds down, I dented it.
Yeah. So I mean,
but that frustration is real.
Yeah. So I thought it and like hearing her talk to herself too. You know, like I think that I like the character because of that, because it's pretty much just her in this house, and I liked it. What was your?
Yeah, I liked it. I definitely liked it. Like I I understand the frustration. Like I said, this is one big establishing shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that, if we're talking in relative terms of comic art, this is one big establishing shot. This is who your character is. This is where she's at. This is the situation she's in. But let's go from here. So I feel like it's gonna pick up. It's really gonna get to the meat of its story within the next couple issues, and then when we get like the actual plot and where it's going from here and what Scotty Young is trying to convey in his story, I think it's gonna get really good.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, like, it's only 5 issues, right? So
yeah,
what is he trying to say with this story? Like, why is this story important to him? I feel like his creator-owned stuff, you really see, like, it's insight into him, right? And artists write what they know. I mean, writers write what they know. Artists are like, like, same thing, right? And is this him? Not necessarily is Scotty Young going around the Midwest buying up haunted houses to live in to inspire himself, but is this really at the heart of it? And maybe we'll find out going forward. Is this him, like, when he's constantly looking for inspiration and sometimes, being kind of like, alone, right, in the dark, and being artist is very what's the I can't even think of the word, but it's really like it's just you, that piece of paper, and that's it, right? Or it's you and that canvas. Nobody else. When you're creating art, that is a solo thing. That is, you have to get that from with. I mean, I'm not an artist. I'm just this is all assumption. But you have to find something within yourself to create something. Like when I'm trying to write, like that shit's hard as fuck. I can only imagine trying to fucking draw something from your head and trying to create or trying to convey a certain type of emotion based on what you're painting, whether it's drawing an image of Superman or drawing a landscape, whatever it is that you're creating, right? Or a sequential story would be even harder. Trying to capture an emotion in a panel, I can't even fathom that. So like, I think that that's kind of what Scotty Young is trying to get at. And that's why I think I really liked it, because I feel like there is some genuine feeling and emotion that he is putting into this story. And it is only one issue, and I wouldn't even say this is a bad first issue. I would say that it left me wanting more, so maybe that's not a bad thing, right? Maybe the fact that I'm like, oh, I wish I got more, that says something to the art and the writing, right? That it was really good. I just wanted a little bit more. So I'm excited to see what comes from this.
No. Like I said before, it's just one big ass establishing shot, and it's great. I'm really looking forward to it. This is definitely going to be one of those books that I'm going to be picking. Since it's only 5 issues, especially, this is definitely going to be one of those series that I'm going to pick up every issue. I'm not going to trade weight. I'm actually looking forward to it. This is a lot of fun. I'm a big you and I have conveyed our love for Scotty Young. We've been big Scotty Young fans since the early 2000s.
That's our friendship. That's like the beginning of our friendships.
That's our friendship writer, bro.
Human Torch, bro. Human Torch and his graph style that I'm still upset he doesn't really lean into anymore. But that's fine.
Yeah.
Artists change, they evolve. I get it. But like that's what I love graffiti, and I love hip hop, and his art really felt hip hop to me. That's he really conveyed it, and I love what his career has kind of turned into. I think he's become
he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's like one of the nicest guys too.
Yeah, he's become such a good writer to go along with being an amazing artist. And that's rare. You don't often see that. I think. I mean, I get that it happens a lot, but it's rare when you can find something where an artist starts writing their own stuff and just the heart and emotional aspect is all there. And Middle West, I mean, like I said, I didn't finish up the first 2 trades, were just amazing. Strange Academy, amazing. So
okay, wait, so with Middle West, first volume, fantastic. Second volume kind of lulled for me, but it all picks up back in the last volume, bro. So the tail end of that story arc is just absolutely phenomenal. It was just fucking class, dude.
Okay.
I'm sure I've yet to read it as a whole, but I'm planning to. But reading it as a whole, I feel like you get the full grasp of just how great that story is. Man, so good.
Yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, great book. Check it out. Let's talk our favorite of the 4. The Merc with a Mouth. Fucking Wade Wilson himself, Deadpool, Black, White, and Blood, #1. Again, another character that we bonded over in high school when we met to go along with the Scotty Young Human Torch book. I'm glad you said it before I even had a chance last week. You're like, we're reading Deadpool. I'm like, I already knew that we were going to read it.
We're reading Deadpool.
Yeah. So there's 3 stories, much like most of the Black, White, and Blood, or I guess, yeah, they're all Black, White, and Blood, right? Wolverine was that. Carnage was that. So we got Tom Taylor with Phil Noto and Joe Sabino on the first story. Hotline to Heaven is the next one. Ed Brisson, Will Pertasio, Rochelle Rosenberg, and Joe Sabino. And then the last story is Born in the... You
Sister.
Yeah. By James Stocco. He did everything on that. That's the first time I actually looked at the title of that story. So I'll let you start because
I'm a Tom Taylor stan.
I mean, I love Tom Taylor too. I mean, look at my Goodreads right now. That dude is flooding my Goodreads. I didn't read this. Like, I guess this is. First of all, you know how they usually, like, in the bottom corner, editor's note. Like, it'll. I love that it had Tom Taylor's face. That's the first time I've ever seen that in a comic book.
They need to start doing that.
They do, and he harkens back to an all-new Wolverine story. So I'm not familiar. You said this was reuniting Deadpool with Honey Badger, so I didn't know that, and I would love to hear kind of. Yeah, I would love for you to start off with this story for sure.
Okay, I don't know. Have you gotten your all-new Wolverine hardcover?
I'm bringing it home this weekend. I was gonna bring it home sooner, but because of Injustice taking over my reads, I just finished. I finished #3. I'm gonna read 4 and then that.
Dude, it's good. It's okay. Injustice is good. Finish Injustice and then read all new Wolverine. I'm not gonna ruin it for you. I'm just gonna say that there's a bonding moment between Deadpool and Gabby that only true Deadpool fans would truly appreciate. And Gabby's character, she grows on you as the story progresses. But when they finally get those two together, it's like a match made in murder heaven.
Match made in murder heaven. Okay.
Right, and then they're like it's great, and I love the fact that hi Deadpool, like, it's Honey Badger. Thank you. No one else would take my call. I'm your best friend. You should have called me first.
Yeah.
I'm your best friend.
Yeah.
Are you serious? Like. But
I love that he breaking the fourth wall where he's like, we tried that in another draft, but it seemed weird to call a kid first about something dangerous and violent.
I also like the Marvel teaching moment.
Yes. Yeah, dude. Why isn't Tom Taylor writing Deadpool?
Why is it Tom Taylor writing Deadpool?
That was my first thought after the first page. All I needed was one page written by Tom Taylor with Wade Wilson, and I'm like, dude, Marvel, you're missing out on a great opportunity here.
I gotta go absolutely everywhere. I what I like about this too, it kind of like touches back on like fucking Tom Taylor, the heart of like the friendship between these two, right? The friendship between these two, because like in the all new Wolverine story, like I said, I don't want to ruin it for you. It brings out the sweetness in Deadpool. It brings out like, because he's either a smart ass and he's like either like way too crazy for people, or he's just fucking ultra violent. With this, it's like the perfect synergy of him being crazy, but also like the heart of Deadpool that like I feel like Gail Simone touched on. I feel that
Duggan
Daniel
did too,
Way
right?
Duggan
did when he brought in the daughter.
Yeah, when he brought in, absolutely when he brought in.
Yeah.
Also, when with Daniel Way, like how he brought in the heart of him, like actually valuing what life is. Like this, actually, like because Deadpool doesn't have many friends, and all the friends he tries to have, they hate him, and the friends that want him as friends, aka Bob, he's like meh. Right.
Yeah.
But this is the actual like true to life friendship that Deadpool has, and like he can actually relate to someone. And Tom brings back all those notes about the whole science experiment thing. Also, I just turned the page right now, and I just realized the Galloping Dead and
the Zombie, bruh.
So the Zombie, I think Zombibra was the one for me that I was like,
Okay.
I laughed out loud when I read it. Like the Zombibra. Oh, hey, a zebra.
Yeah.
This could be your last Blorch.
This is my favorite story in the book. I'm saying it now. This is my favorite.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't mean I didn't like the rest, but like this set the tone for me.
Also, like I mean, like with every turn of the page, like this is oozing Tom Taylor and oozing Tom Taylor's like understanding of these characters. Like even when Gabby cuts off Wade's hand. What the hell? Zombie virus. Oh, right. Like, yeah. I think I'm immune.
He's
but...
like, yeah, whatever.
All right.
The ending was, I say thee nay.
Yeah. Okay. And then, yeah, but like Tom Taylor needs to fucking write a Deadpool book. Like I know he's doing a lot of stuff with he's doing big titles right now. He's doing big titles with DC right now, so it's totally fine. I totally get it. Like let him do. Like he's not contractually obligated by any one publisher right now because he's all over the place. Like he has Seven Secrets. He has freaking Nightwing and
Superman, Son of Kal-El.
Superman. Like he do whatever the hell he wants. I'm here for it. I'm gonna pick up whatever he writes, whatever. And yeah, but I feel like if there's no Deadpool, if there's no more Deadpool in Tom Taylor's future, it's a missed opportunity by Tom, and it's a missed opportunity by Marvel, and it's a missed opportunity from the world. The world.
Yes. Considering the fact that Deadpool has a 30th anniversary and he does not have an ongoing title, that's a huge error on Marvel's part, in my opinion. This is, I guess, serviceable, for Deadpool fans like us. But you had the anniversary special, and then nothing, and then you have this miniseries, but nothing on the horizon of an ongoing. And I think, like, come on, let's go. Let Tom Taylor, even if it's another miniseries in the anniversary year, I feel like you should have more than just a one shot and a miniseries, like one miniseries for his anniversary. That to me that doesn't make sense.
A miniseries that consists of anthologies, which isn't bad, because I'm sure somewhere down the line we're gonna get Gale. I'm sure somewhere down the line we're gonna get friggin' more characters. We're gonna get more characters takes on this especially with newer writers. I would love to see newer writers take on Deadpool. But yeah, it's fantastic. But also the Ed Brisson Potasio story. If that
typical Deadpool, dude. Typical Deadpool.
Yeah, if that isn't the most quintessential Deadpool story, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Because what this one felt like, it felt like a filler issue to a Deadpool ongoing series. Because it was totally because in numerous Deadpool series, there's always been one or two issues in between story arcs where it was just a quick little, here's what Deadpool did today, right?
Right.
And I feel like this is a perfect ode to that, which is exactly what it was. Deadpool is mad that freaking his version of Siri can't fucking stream a B. Arthur movie. He has to venture out of his home and he's pissed. So off top, we're off to a great start.
Yes.
We're off to a great start. He goes to a video store. I don't even know where their video stores are, but apparently this video store has been closed for 10 years. And he goes to, here just 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And he searches for it and comes to find out that the entire stockpile is sold to what is not North Korea, but North Korea.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all know it was North Korea. And his journey to fucking go get this fucking movie. First of all, Will's Portasio, dude.
Fucking bro. Okay, Will's, he's gotten so much better. I literally follow Will's Portasio on Instagram, and he gives little tutorials and little how-tos, and his stuff is just so next level. From his shading to his cross hatching to just his process is just absolutely amazing. And if you compare it to the early 90s X-Men stuff, it's black and white, dude. It's black and white.
No, he's gotten really good.
Yeah, he's a brand new artist, and it's evident with this. Like, holy crap. I feel like now his style is like the perfect blend of the 90s and now modern times. I feel like, you know, a lot, especially the Image OGs, right? A lot of the Image OGs, like there's there's a bunch of them. All the artists kind of like plateaued, right? I feel like Wills and the Todd Father are the only two whose styles have like elevated beyond something like beyond what they were.
I feel like Liefeld, though, his art is, I don't want to say it's way better, but I feel like anatomically he's definitely gotten a lot better.
I feel like he's more polished.
It's more polished
like
for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely more polished. But like in terms of like Todd McFarlane and Wills Portacio, they have like elevated to this whole new level of like themselves. Like you thought, like if you thought the 90s were good for them, bro, you got to check out their shit now.
Yeah, but Todd only does covers, you know? Yeah, I feel like Todd McFarlane, if he kept drawing this whole time, imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine how good he would have got. Because I'm sure he draws a lot, but nowhere near. He's running a fucking company, you know?
Companies, yeah.
So I think the story was great. I think the art was my favorite. I mean, like you said, a day in the life of Deadpool when he's not fighting whatever, I think was really fun. The fact that he was pissed at the end of it all because the movie sucked and he wasted $20 buying a VCR. I find that hilarious.
He wasted $20. Like he's mad that he wasted $20 buying a VCR. He wasn't mad at the adventure.
No, not at all. Which is typical Deadpool. I think that, you know, that story was great, but of the three, my least favorite. My second favorite was the next one, which was the James Stokoe. Oh. I thought that it was just absolute insanity. It
was chaos, dude.
Yeah. Just like what we get from Orphans and the Five Beasts from James Stokoe and all of his other work. I think that what a perfect pairing of a creator with a character. That's what I was thinking 100%. As I was reading.
The chaos energy in this is the kind of chaos energy that I feed off of and live for. And let's just fucking start it off. It starts off with text messages. Mm-hmm. From and to Omega Red and Deadpool.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it starts off like, where you been, Red? Wait, long time. Started my own country. And I'm thinking like, you didn't start Krakoa, bro. What are you talking about? And then he hits it with the latitude. First off, the the way in which he writes Omega Red's like captions and how Omega Red talks is just absolutely the best. Like, because, you know, Omega Red, whether it be from the cartoons or whether it be from like the comic books, like, you know, X-Men #4, X-Men #5, his first appearance, like his stuff has been like very Iron Hand, very strong and very thing. But this is like it's kind of like he's like a hyped up teenager all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Right?
Yeah. Only I could create such a utopia on Earth. No? Like that's the voice I
You like?
Yeah, it was just so funny, dude. It's like it was an Omega Red I've never read before. I've never read a version of him like this, which I think
but I love it. I need more of this chaos energy Omega Red.
Yes.
It's great. With
the scenes where it was showing like the country itself, like the agriculture, the Ministry of Medium Machine Building, but the cultural embassy where it just has Omega Red slaps the bass, like album covers, and like, bro. Oh, dude, come on! I mean, just those little added Easter eggs just made it so fun to like pour over the art along with the story.
Yeah, Cat Circus, of course.
I mean, Ursa Major coming into the mix.
No. One of my favorite things is like when Omega Red's making fun of Canada, they flash over to Puck and Sasquatch, and Sasquatch like sniffs into the air. And he's like, "What is it, Sasquatch?" I said someone making fun of Canada. What again? What again? Incredible. I know. The only question is why.
Yeah. And I feel like James Stokoe can get away with it considering he's from Canada, so he can get away with making fun of him. This is what these types of books should be. They should. I mean, Deadpool obviously more types of fun stories, you can't really do that with Wolverine. But I think that that's what makes these, when it's an anthology book, that's what makes them special, is when you really let a creator kind of do their thing and you get something unique that you haven't got before. And that's what we got with this story, for sure, hands down. This was the craziest of stories.
Yeah. Again, this is another writer which I feel like should take for Deadpool. This is what these anthologies are supposed to do, right? These anthologies are supposed to be like, yes, you should be writing Deadpool. Yes, you should be writing or drawing Deadpool. This is what I feel like that's what these anthology series like should aim out to do, because now you're kind of building hype over like if someone whoever was to take over for Deadpool, if they had a successful, if they got good, a great review, or people who just responded to their stories greatly, that should build the hype for whatever they plan next with our favorite Merc.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. Because like, man, I would love to see a fucking even if it's like a James Stokoe fucking mini.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, I'm cool with that. I just, like I said, I feel like missed opportunity, man. If it's the anniversary, yes, it's cool. Liefeld did all the Deadpool 30th anniversary covers. That's cool, but I want content. I don't want just images of Deadpool. Like I would have liked to have seen maybe Daniel. I'm sure Daniel Way's probably coming back for a story. I would imagine he's going to do something, but I really wish that we got, not just one mini series, because I mean 2021 is almost over and his anniversary is done, right? This was the year, so like the fact that this is all we're going to get, it's a little bit upsetting. But that doesn't mean I don't really love this book, because I think the book is phenomenal. I think that this is one of the best Deadpool centered projects that I've read in a long time, dude. Even though I really liked the 30th anniversary, this one was really fucking dope.
Yeah. Go circling back to the Stokoe one. Dude, this is just like literally just chaos energy. Everything about it.
I don't think I've
the reason why they're fighting.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Ursa Major look more fucking psychotic and terrifying. And just like the face of Omega Red, it looks like something straight out of a fucking anime.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what I really like about his style. It's super detailed, has that fucking like, just that he's harnessing the energy that, from what anime I have seen, because like I said earlier, I don't watch a lot. He harnesses that kind of in his art. He did it with Orphan and the Five Beasts, which has been on hiatus for whatever reason. Yeah. But
which is an absolute crime against humanity.
It is a huge crime against humanity. Yes, I'm very upset that I have to wait, but I'm glad that he did do a Deadpool story, and I really hope that this isn't the last we see from Stokoe.
This is the second time we've seen Stokoe on Marvel stuff, because he did do Heroes Reborn. I wouldn't be surprised if like after Dark Horse he shifts over to Marvel and does something. I would love that. I don't care who he writes. Like I'm picking it up.
Yeah, it's kind of like what they let Daniel Warren Johnson do with Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
5-issue miniseries, man. Let this writer artist do their thing and tell a fucking really awesome story. Because I mean, everybody responded really well to Beta Ray Bill, and I think that if you give James Stokoe a book, people are going to respond really well to that too, because it's just amazing writing and cartooning, dude. It's just great.
This is I honestly, for as far as anthologies go, this is like the perfect start off for an anthology book. There was not a single issue, there's not a single story in there where I was like, man.
Yeah, me either.
Fun.
Yeah, I agree.
It was. I mean, granted, it was only 3 stories, so there's very little to be meh about. But like, I feel like the 3 stories were given enough pages, enough panels, enough time, and for them to come into their own and be their own thing. And I love it, because sometimes some of these anthology books are like there's like 3-4 pages and then that's it, right? But this is perfect. Out of all the anthologies that you and I probably read, and especially with the more current anthology books, this is by far has to be my favorite.
Agreed.
And I'm not talking about 80. I'm not talking about like 80th anniversaries. I'm not talking about anything like that. But I'm talking about with like Batman, Black and White, and Wonder Woman. What is it? Black and Gold, White and Gold.
Black and Gold.
Black and Gold, and then Wolverine, Black, White, and Black, White, and Red, and Carnage, Black, White, and Red. Deadpool, Black, White, and Red has to be like
Yeah, so far
the
it's
best
my
one.
favorite. My favorite. I do like the Batman Urban Legends. I think that has been really good overall. But this one definitely was I had the most fun with, and I'm
Yes,
excited. I'm excited
absolutely.
for the next issue for sure. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't even
that's
know who the
all.
writers are, but I'm going
Yeah, I
into
don't
it
care.
blind.
Same.
The
Yeah, I don't.
only
I don't
the
really.
only reason why I knew Tom Taylor was writing in this one was because he tweeted it, and it was literally a panel of Deadpool and Gabby, and I was like, I'm in, I'm fucking in.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I was
know.
like,
I mean,
I'm
I,
in.
I would have been the same way. Yeah, I didn't know until you told me that
Yeah,
he was doing the story. So yeah, I mean that's all I got for this week's books. I think some good stuff this week for sure.
yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. For next week though,
I have a list. There's
what's
not a
going on?
lot out. It's a very small week in terms of
Okay.
like books to talk about. Infinite Frontiers
Well,
out though.
yeah, for
So,
Frontier.
so Infinite Frontier Hardware is
Yes,
out next week. Batman 89
yes,
is
100%. I
out.
was actually looking
Okay.
at that.
And Defenders #1, Al Ewing, Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer. We got Betty, the Red Hulk, Red She-Hulk
Yeah.
in there. And then it's kind of tied into that Marvel Comics 1000. There wasn't really much else unless there's something else that you wanted to talk about. But I kind of looked and it just didn't seem like there's much out in terms of.
No, it doesn't seem like there's much out.
All right, cool. Well,
Oh, and it's Free Comic Book Week. It's Free Comic Book Day coming up.
oh
It's
yeah,
gonna
we
be
have to
nuts.
talk those books. I was gonna do a video, but if you want to talk about the free, oh well, we'll figure it out. I don't know if you can
We'll
find
figure it out
time.
because
If you
There's a lot of books. That's a lot.
or we can, yeah, we'll figure it out. That's all I got for this week. Those are the books we're gonna read for next week. And if you're not already following us, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Comic Lounge. Follow Dylan at the Dillbot on Instagram. Dillbot is dope on Twitter. Like, follow, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid goes up. Hit that TeePublic link. Get some Comic Lounge merch. And on that note, we're out.
Later, buds.